Hey friends, okay, tonight I'm just doing an easy pan full of chicken and dressing. So I had to run to the grocery last night and it was near close and they had a rotisserie chicken left that no one had bought that day, and so the manager was there and he asked me if I wanted it. He said you can have it for $2. So I thought, well, okay, I will make something with it. So I put it in the fridge last night, and so tonight I have it chopped up and we're going to do just some easy chicken and dressing. Now I know most of the time your chicken and dressing, your broth from your chicken is what you normally use, so I just made my own broth here and we're going to make it work, okay? Now chicken and dressing is something that I'm still practicing on and I always make it different. So here, let's go tonight and we're going to see how we do it. All right, so I have some cornbread here. Now, I just made a thin cornbread in my cast iron skillet, so I don't have a real big batch here. And if you'll notice how I always have like these bigger pieces, that's because I make it so crispy and crunchy. I like having the bigger pieces. But now, you don't have to do that if you choose to do it the other way. Okay, so let's get going. So just a little bit of cornbread, and then I'm going to add in some of this stovetop chicken stuffing mix. Now I only have about half a pack or so in here. I guess I've used some another time for this, so I'm gonna add in a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna do this whole half a pack. Let's see. Well, I might as well because I don't have that much cornbread. So about half a box of your stovetop stuffing. Okay. Now we're going to do 1 can of cream of chicken. Now I know some people do the cream of celery. There's so many different variations of dressing, y'all, and it's one of those things that I just love, but I feel like I just don't have it 100%. The last time I made it for us back in the fall, it was really good. I loved it that time, and I've not made it since, so we're going to make it some. Okay, now in here I have some celery and some onion. Let's see, I'm going to get just a little bit out. I have some celery, some onion, and some garlic. And if you'll notice, I have a lot of butter in here. Normally in my dressing, I put about half a stick of melted butter. So I just went ahead and put it in here. And that way it would melt and we could just take care of 2 things in one. So celery, onion, garlic, and melted butter. And then I got that little bit out because we're going to use that for a little gravy that we're going to make. Okay, let's start seasoning this up. All right, I'm going to start with a little bit of garlic salt. You can do just regular salt or however you want to do it. I'm just deciding to do this tonight. So a little bit of garlic salt. I'm going to do a little bit of thyme. Let me get y'all on up here so you can see a little better. Just a sprinkle. Okay. If y'all have any hidden secrets for your chicken and dressing or just regular dressing, y'all let me know. Some ground sage, just sprinkle. I don't like mine real strong with the sage. I typically do a little bit more poultry than I do sage. All right, so now we're going to do some poultry. These are newer containers because it's not something that I use that often. Ooh. Okay, I have my garlic out here, but I'm not going to use that because I used, I put some garlic in my onions and celery. Okay, so now over here I have my broth that I made up, y'all. I just made it using this the bouillon powder here. I love the flavor of that. I think it's actually better than the chicken broth itself, but you can do whatever kind you want. All right, let me mix it around to make sure all that's up in there. And I think I have about 4 cups here, maybe 4.5. So let's see. We're gonna start with about that much. Let's get it mixed. I know we'll need way more, but yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do more. Now, I like for mine to be, I have a lot of liquid in it. You may like a drier dressing, but I like for mine to be really, really moist. Okay, and we're going to add an egg in too, but we're going to wait and do a taste test before we add the egg in so we can see about our seasons. All right, so a little bit more. Ooh, looks pretty good, don't it? I think we'll need a little more, but let's go ahead and taste our seasonings real quick, y'all. Let's see. I never get it right on the first try, so I know I'll have to add some more stuff. Okay. Need some salt, which I forgot that. We definitely need some salt. I'm gonna sprinkle on it, and some pepper. Forgot that too. Okay. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit more poultry. I don't think I'm gonna do any more sage. Y'all tell me, do you use one or the other, or do you use both? How do you do yours? I wanna know. So like I said, this is something that I still work on. I'm still working on trying to improve it each time. And then different ways. I may need to add a little bit more sage. See there, I can't never make up my mind on how I want to do it. I know we need more broth, because that has soaked it up, y'all. So I'd say right now we're probably at about 3 cups, because I had about 4.5 in there, so we're getting there. Maybe a little more. Y'all just hang in there with me on this. Which I'm sure everybody, you just kind of have to do a little and go. I don't know if this is something you can really actually measure. Unless you've done it a ton of times, maybe you can. Let me get me another spoon. Ooh, that sage just got my nose itching. All right, let's do one more taste test. That tastes really good. Let's see, I'm trying to decide, do I want to add anything else anymore or not? Let's go ahead and put our chicken in. So I have my rotisserie. This is mostly the breast. I usually just eat on the legs and the wings. And the breast is good to chop up for things like this. And I left it in pretty big pieces because, you know, when you mix it, it's going to kind of fall apart. Let's do a little bit more of our broth. It looks pretty good and soupy there. Let's see. I'm always so undecided, y'all. Let's do a little bit more. So we're probably right at about 4 cups because I had about 4.5 in there. Okay, we're gonna go with that. If I keep tasting it, y'all, I'll just keep doing a little of this and a little of that. So I just have to go with it. All right, so now we're putting in 1 egg. Once that goes in, you don't have to worry about me tasting it. Because I'm certainly not going to. Okay. It looks good, don't it? Looks good and smells good. I hope y'all have had a good weekend. We have. We just got back home. We've been gone for several days, and I wanted something, just a good home meal. Y'all know how it is. Okay. So I have my 9x13 dish here. I've buttered it up a little bit. And we're just going to put this in here. All right, y'all. It looks pretty good. I have my oven set on 350. I'm gonna pop this in there. I think I normally cook it about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, maybe up to an hour. I guess it just depends on how much I have. But this is what we're looking like, y'all. I'm gonna get all this cleaned up, and I'll come back and we're going to make a gravy. Okay, y'all, let's make up our gravy real quick. I have a little bit of butter in here that I have already melted. Now I have about a tablespoon or so of flour. We're going to pop that in. Y'all know I don't like a real thick gravy, so I mean, we may end up needing more, but I think we're going to start with that. We're just going to whisk that around. Our dressing has been cooking now for about 35-40 minutes. I'm going to check it at about 45 and then see. I like for the top to get a good golden brown color. Don't y'all? It's just kind of how I like it. So I'm just going to whisk this around. Oh, in our broth, y'all, I had about, I said we had about half a cup of the broth left from what we used in the dressing, and so I mixed up about another half a cup to give us 1 cup, okay? And then if we need more than that, I may just add a little bit of water or make us some more, just depending on how much we need. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Ooh, smells good too. All right, I think that's probably good enough. Now let's go ahead and add some of our broth in. So like I said, we have about 1 cup here. Get this over here. I'm just making a small little saucepan of gravy here. Let's see. That's about 3/4 of the cup. All right, y'all. I'm just going to whisk this until it starts to thicken up a little bit more, and then we'll add our other stuff. I'll come back and do that. I'm just going to whisk this up real quick. All right, y'all. Our gravy has thickened up a little bit. This is about as thick as I want it to be. I don't want it to be real thick, but of course you can always do it however you want to do. Now we're going to add our other stuff in. Those sauteed onions and celery and that little bit of garlic. We're going to put that in. That butter has got cool, so we're going to put that in there to help get that out. Now, if you want just a smooth gravy, you can stop at this point. You don't have to add your other stuff in. I'm doing this kind of to resemble like a giblet gravy, and then I have a little bit of chicken here that I saved out that I didn't put in the dressing. We're going to pop that in there. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then one other thing. Now, last time I did this, I had a lot of people say, what in the world are you doing? But I've always known giblet gravy to have giblet gravy to always have an egg in it, a boiled egg. So I'm gonna put one in, and y'all, I love my little egg slicer. I've told y'all that. So what I'm gonna do it like that, and then I'm gonna turn it around. If I can get this back out. Here I was talking too much, not paying attention. And then I'm going to turn it around and try to do it the other way. If I can keep it together. There we go. Then I'm going to run it back down over it, as y'all can see here, and it chops it up really good. Let me get this in here before I make a mess of it. But when I was growing up, and everybody would make the giblet gravy, or giblet, whichever you call it. I don't know if it's giblet or giblet, but they always had a boiled egg in it. Always. So... and I like it in there. I like it on the dressing. Now, I don't necessarily like the giblets, but that's why I always just use a few pieces of chicken in there instead, or the other kind of chicken. I know the giblets is chicken, but yeah, see there, it's thickened up really good. It looks really good. The only thing we need to add now is a little bit of salt and pepper. Not much salt, because that broth is already salty, but we're going to do a little bit anyway. Okay, some pepper, a little bit of salt. It looks like a really good gravy. It reminds me of some that I've seen some other cooks make. It looks really good. Isn't that, y'all? That look good? Okay, I think our dressing, I'm going to cook it for about 5 more minutes or so. I love the look of this gravy, y'all. Looks so good. I'm going to let it cook, like I said, for about 5 more minutes. I'm going to get it out, and we're going to taste this dressing. All right, y'all, let's taste our dressing. Let's see here. I cooked this, like I said, right at about 50 minutes. Get some out. Ooh. And this is all I'm having tonight, y'all. I didn't cook anything else with it. The only thing I did do was I sliced me up a fresh tomato. I'm gonna have that. That's it. Okay, y'all, looks good. All right, I'm gonna get some of this gravy. I love the look of this gravy. It looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna back y'all up here and we're gonna taste it. Don't that look good? Alright, it's crazy hot. Y'all know I'm impatient. I couldn't wait for it to cool off. Goodness. It seems to be still good and moist, but it has a little crunch around the outside, which I like. Now, I know a lot of people put boiled eggs in their dressing, and maybe not so much their gravy, or maybe both, but I don't ever put boiled eggs in it, but I do like it in the gravy, kind of drizzled over the top like that. I do like that. Ooh, hot. Yep, that's good. I'm liking it so far. Chicken and dressing is one of those things that's just so comforting, isn't it? So good. I'm loving it. Yep, I'm proud of it. I'm glad of it. Ooh. So hot. Okay, y'all. That is good. I know I didn't really have a recipe because I was doing a little this and a little more of that and whatever. But maybe it can give you an idea if you're kind of new to making dressing. Like I said, I know it's not something that just everybody makes, but if you feel like you're a little inexperienced with it, get in there in the kitchen and make it. That's what I do with it, and I just make it at random times, just like today. I thought, okay, I'm gonna take another shot at dressing, and I just make it, and eventually I'll have it just perfect, which that tastes great to me. But whenever I say perfect, I mean it's not one of those things that I feel just 100% confident in whenever I start to make it to where I would want like to take it somewhere or for other people to eat it. I would be so nervous because it's just not something that I make all the time. But this is delicious, and I would be so happy for someone else to eat this, but I just don't feel that way in the beginning before I see the end result and I taste it, if that makes sense. But anyway, y'all, thank you for hanging in there with me if you've watched this video of me doing a little trial and error with this dressing. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.